I want to see your paperwork.
And I'll send my paperwork to your attorney, and then I don't hear anything from you.
I've got 3 attorneys in my DMs right now that said what you do is skirting the law. I seen a post on the internet that looked like, in my untrained eye, what I was warned against by my attorney on making a post on a registered security. Dude, we're live on Facebook right now. Everything you've said, like if you're asking for a retraction, people get to form their own opinion based on what they just witnessed. This is my retraction.
Dude, I'm watching some of these Facebook posts, you know.
Braxton, what do you think about all that?
It's just it seems like there's a lot of people that are kind of happy about it. Just kind of funny. Just like everyone's ready, everyone's waiting, everyone's just like, what's gonna be the big break?
Huh. I think this fellow wants us to call him. So this is what I think we do. We got Brenton here. Got my own Facebook. We gotta find this fella's number. I think we fucking I think we give him an old ring-a-ling. See what he's got going on. Live on live.
He's talking to you. He's trying to.
Dude, he's calling me from Facebook. He's fucking being a weirdo in my DMs, and then people are sending me stuff that he like his dad's in prison for stealing, for doing like the same shit. And then he said he had like a Series 6, a Series 7, a Series 14. Did you read this little deal here? 100% automated real estate investment program. Make 25 to 30% return on your money annually. Perfect for retired investors. Invest $300K and make $7,500 or $75,000 to $90,000 per year. Backed by investor-owned real estate. So that's
that
what
looks
September.
like a great solicitation.
I mean, it does look like a solicitation. His client, his words, not mine, in these 19 replies, his client, he literally calls him a client, bought another property. So it's like he made an offer on a house I owned. Possible lease option was my deal. But anyways, and so he made an offer on it. And then the client ended up choosing another home. And so I was like, are you a real estate agent? And he's not a real estate agent. So I don't understand how that works.
Just not an agent repping people.
I mean, he's got clients that are trying to buy real estate. I do not represent any buyer or seller. I do not show homes, nor do I negotiate contracts for anyone but myself. You understand that real estate, state of Texas, do what you want, not need realtor license. As far as security license, you don't understand what I do. For some reason, you woke up this morning and decided you were just going to be on the right side of life. But you were wrong. Let's discuss those DMs. Like, man, it's not like 9-year-old ladies sitting around a table gossiping to each other about what they think.
2017?
Yeah. I'll be in a meeting 2018. Like, and he said he didn't know who I was, but he was in my DMs in 2017. He's right there.
With the screenshot of the DM.
I don't know. I mean, you're right there, buddy.
You don't know me, but you're talking to me.
Yeah. Got a little light camera action. Raise my chair up. Okay. I don't know how to raise my chair up.
People think you're so tall.
Oh, there we are. Boy, get that cash flow on the titties. You know what I mean? Like, bam, we're live. Okay.
Just got it. He saw it. He's like,
Now we need
live.
this is a weird dashboard for live.
This is Joe.
Hey, Joe, this is Corey Thompson.
Yeah, hey Corey, what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to pick up my son's brace for surgery.
That's cool. Well, you know, people have been DMing me. I made a video.
Everybody's giving you opinions. And yeah, there are people that don't like me. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what's your part to this?
I made a video calling out somebody who's gotten arrested. I don't know if he got arrested, sued. I don't know what's up. I mentioned a fellow in San Antonio, and people presumed it was you, but I didn't know who you were.
Right.
So, like, the DMs and screenshots from attorneys, from big investors, from all the different people just started pouring in. And I was like, I don't know this fella. I've never even heard of him. So...
But yet you go after me anyway.
No, I just introduced myself. I was just like, hey, I'm Corey. Joe, what's up? These are the screenshots. These are what people are saying. What's up with it? How's it going? Now, as far as the paperwork, you could email over the paperwork. Do you need my email for what y'all do?
Paperwork for what?
For the deals you do.
For the deals I do? Why?
Well, because we would have an attorney review it, and we would get to the bottom of, you know...
My attorneys have reviewed everything. If you want to have your attorney contact me and request them, then by all means.
No, I don't see the transparency. The lack of transparency is kind of why people probably say these things.
Transparent. I even some two-check or whatever the heck, some guy who said that my program was where you started saying that it was a securities fraud. You don't know anything about it.
What? Well, I mean, explain it.
And I closed those with title companies.
Yeah, no, we know you close at title companies. Just explain it. Just explain. Like if I make a post on the internet and I say you can make 25% return, and I'm not structuring it as debt, you got a Series 6, Series 7, Series whatever.
You don't need a Series 6 or Series 7 to do that, okay?
All right, explain it to me.
Return on investment on real estate is just, I mean, everybody says, oh, this is a 1% deal, right? Do they need security to do that? I'll tell you what my deal is. So what I allow people to do is we qualify them through an RMLO. And these are people that cannot go and buy a house because they cannot get financing through a bank. So we do owner financing or seller financing. So what we do is we tell them, okay, this is what you qualify for. And again, we go through an RMLO or a licensed loan officer, and we give them a budget. They go with their realtor, or we supply a realtor to them, or I send them to a realtor. They go and they look at any house that's for sale. They point at the house and say, that's the one I want. Now, I have investors who go in and buy the homes, 80% loan to value. So when we're purchasing the home, we've already made an agreement with the end buyer to buy the home for 10% at a 10%. We raise the price 10% from the investor's total cost. We give them a set interest rate that they agree to upfront. The investor has their own interest rate from where they're borrowing. So when you put a spreadsheet together, and if the investor pays X, and the end buyer pays Y, and there's a set amount that's going to be made monthly, and that set amount is 30% of what the investor invested, cash on cash, then you have a 30% return.
Yeah. So are your investors, they're using, what loan product are they using? And do the lenders on those loan products know that this is being wrapped or sold on a lease option?
Yes. In fact, I flew to Kansas City and sat down with the lender and told him exactly what we were doing.
So who's the lender?
I'm not going to divulge that to you.
Okay.
Why am I going to give you everything?
Okay. The second question, is it a set rate from the lender, or is it a commercial loan that readjusts every 3, 5, 10 years or whatever?
No, by Texas property code, it has to be a fixed rate.
That's your buyer. I'm talking about your investor. What loan product is he getting? Is he getting an adjustable?
He's getting a 30-year fixed product.
A 30-year fixed product out of a bank in Kansas City. Hey Joe, we just watched the video that you posted 6 days ago on your profile, and the way that it explained it was they rent it from you until you all can repair the credit. Is that a different program?
That's a different program.
Okay. What happens to the investor in that scenario if interest rates goes up?
Investor.
So what?
We negotiate directly with the seller. When the seller can't sell their home, their holding costs are basically, they're bleeding out because of their holding costs. We implement this program.
Okay.
And they have a right to say no. They have a right to say yes.
And then if interest rates go up into the future and they qualified for a $150,000 home, but now their DTI, they can only get a $130,000 home. What happens in the future in that scenario?
Well, that's why we don't go any longer than 175 days.
Well, 175 days ago, interest rates were... Are you
going to let me talk?
Yeah.
And we give about a 1% bump. There's a 1% cushion in our program. We don't put anybody who just barely qualifies into a house.
So interest rates could rise 1% in that 6 months and they would still qualify for that purchase price.
Or we would find them another type of loan that will get them to qualify.
What about these accusations that you have multiple LLCs, that you burn people and all that? I mean, that would be public record, wouldn't it?
Yeah, those are all, as you just said, accusations. All you guys are doing is throwing out scuttlebutt. All you guys are doing is, I heard this, and I heard somebody said somebody about this, and I heard that 3 people ago said he did this and he did this. Have I been in investments that have gone south? Sure.
What happened on those?
But dude, why am I answering your question?
Well, I just want to know. I mean, if somebody told me something along those lines.
Somebody told me that you touch little boys and that you can't live more than 500 feet from a school, am I going to go post that on fucking Facebook about you?
Well, that would be public information too. So yeah, maybe. I mean, look. If you're letting people know about pedophiles,
I don't get what your role is in this. I mean, you're supposed to be this guru investor that does mobile homes, and I called a couple people that I know, some gurus, and I asked them. They said, yeah, his shit's legit, and but you're doing the same thing that the 50 other people are doing.
Yeah. Well,
so if I do something different. I mean, who are you to come after me?
I'm not coming after you. I'm not coming after you. I'm asking what happened on those deals. It's a simple question. The Tundra Village thing that happened with your dad, it said in there that he paid for a son's wedding in the news article. Are you?
And that was in the news, right? And you believe everything that's in the news?
No. This is Joe Biden's America. I definitely don't believe everything that's in the news.
Exactly. This is Joe Biden's America, and you're going to believe that. You want to know what happened at my wedding?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I had an American Express gold card, and I paid for my own wedding through the gold card. And 2 weeks later, I sold some properties and paid off that entire gold card.
Okay.
But they're not going to call, the newspaper's not going to call me and ask me, what happened there? They're just going to go with whatever happens.
Yeah, so but we're on the phone with you right now asking what happened on those investments that went bad, and
Which ones?
Any of them. Like, look, if somebody's saying something bad, and that, like,
if an investment goes bad, normally I try to pay whatever person or investor back.
And if it doesn't,
and I've racked up some fees. I've racked up some of that, and I'm piecemealing, and I pay people back, or I do the best I can.
Okay.
But I don't leave anybody in the wind. Now, what is his name? Ornolfo. We tried to do a lease option together. The guy who was going to buy the house died. He was hit by a car in front of his house. What the hell was I supposed to do about that?
I don't know. Find another buyer?
We tried, but honestly, that house would have never passed inspection. We tried. And he was and he brought me the house, and we put together the seller. Yes, was he supposed to get a couple of grand? And it didn't happen? Yes, he did. And I apologized to him. It was at the point where he was having his first child. I wasn't in a great place. I felt bad, but I said, hey, dude, you know what?
So ultimately, what was the outcome?
Huh?
Ultimately, what was the outcome? Did he get the house back?
We both walked away from the deal. He didn't own the house. It was somebody who look. I work with houses that nobody wants to buy, and I work with buyers who nobody wants to qualify.
Okay,
that's my niche. I have people in Dallas that just bought houses. I have people in the Valley that just bought houses using my programs. I have some other ones that are closing here within the next 30 days, and my investors are good. All I do is I put deals together. I'm a deal maker.
Right, but you don't solicit securities and you don't broker real estate.
No. Wait a second. Do I broker real estate? I do not represent any buyer or seller. Okay, number one. Number two, I do not show any homes.
Okay.
Number three, I do not negotiate any contracts that are not my own. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Smarty. Do I need a license?
I don't know. I mean, I do know that the new wholesale.
If you don't know, why are you asking me these questions?
Because I'm not an attorney. Look, that's
exactly
like you say they're a client. Okay, that means I assume you're drawing a fee from them. That's how clients work. When I have a client, I'm drawing a fee from them. Maybe I have an equitable interest, but now with the new disclosure laws in Texas, you would have to disclose that. I assume you're doing that, but we wouldn't have any way to know. You won't share the paperwork with us. Like we could.
Why do I need to share it with you? Who are you? You want an attorney to come? Because I've had attorneys call me and say, "Hey, I want to see your paperwork." And I'll send my paperwork to your attorney, and then I don't hear anything from them.
I've got 3 attorneys in my DMs right now that said what you do is skirting the law.
Then why don't they come after me? Why don't they report me?
Well, I mean, look, the allegation is that you have LLCs and you file bankruptcy. I haven't looked at any of that. I've never
filed bankruptcy. I've never filed bankruptcy, so that's a lie.
But do you just dissolve the LLC and move on to something else if it doesn't work out? I mean...
No. Every few years, I get a new LLC because that's what you're supposed to do to save yourself from liability. Why do you want to come after me? That's the hilarious part. Here you are wasting your time on me, and you can't get anything from me. I don't have anybody. Of course, when people, for instance, if people default on a deal, they go fuck up their credit, and now they can't buy a house. But they go fuck up their own credit, because I pay for credit repair for 99% of all these people. They go fuck up their credit, and then they want to come after me? Okay.
You're getting free publicity on that post, right?
Really, because it doesn't look like it, because I'm having to defend myself. Anthony Gaona? Oh my God. And you know how I met Anthony? Selling timeshare.
Yeah.
Running that fucking corrupt industry, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
We're both doing it. Okay? And then afterwards, you know, he can say whatever he wants about me, but he met me at my brother's restaurant. He met me, he asked for an appointment, and he was trying to get me into a multi-level marketing using solar by telling me that he has a networking phone call every week with Elon Musk.
I mean, isn't that what MLM is?
People,
Like here's the 3 most hated people on planet Earth. Number one's a pedophile. Number 2 is a multi-level marketer.
okay?
And number 3 is Joe Biden. That's the order of operations. I think murderers come in at 4.
Okay, so which one am I?
Well, I don't know. 1 and 2.
So why do you care then? Why did you wake up yesterday morning and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to tear this guy a new asshole.
I didn't. Look. All I said was I don't know the
You
guy.
asked for me to comment, and I commented. I commented to everybody on there.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Look.
I may never change the opinions of those people, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. But the other thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let somebody try to go out there and try to think that they're morally obligated and they have the moral high ground to try to destroy.
Nobody has a moral high ground.
Son, you did that. You put all that shit on there about me, that I was securities fraud, and that's your fucking introduction.
Whoa.
Would you introduce yourself like that to me in person?
I seen a post on the internet that looked like, in my untrained eye, what I was warned against by my attorney on making a post on a registered security. You get what I'm saying? Because
so let's say somebody comes after me and they sue me for that. What is it to you?
I mean, it's nothing to me. It's just.
Why are you doing this? If it's nothing to you, all you're doing is, and then you know, I don't know Quentin from. I mean, I know who he is, but you're gonna throw shade at him, and I'm like, what is this? Is this guy what this guy does? Tell me about Quentin. I don't care about Quentin.
You know all about Quentin.
I don't know anything about Quentin. But who gives you the right to police that?
I'm not policing anything. If somebody tells me something, right, and the most fairest opportunity I can give somebody is to defend their name, and they can come in and articulate and explain the transactions and why they're above board and what the risks are, right, and what the downside is and how a deal can go bad, and they can say, hey, look, here's our disclosures that we literally turn over to every investor. Here's 85 pages of disclosures that we give to every investor that invests with us that tells us the downside, the upside. We're not commingling funds. We're not investing in lifestyle. We're not doing these things. This is an above board business. Do you not believe that sunlight is the best disinfectant? That, look, here's everything I got. If you ask me right now, Corey, put the PPM.
I'm just not gonna give it to you.
Right, but I mean, you don't think I could be a potential investor? You don't think that I could potentially help you?
At this point, I wouldn't want you as an investor. I don't want to be up on your stage.
I don't have a stage.
Shit, I've had an opportunity to be a fucking guru.
I'm not.
Way back in the day, and I didn't want to fucking do it because the people who buy your shit, like, you got what, 11,000 followers?
No.
How many people are actually doing what you fucking say to do?
Those 11,000 followers.
Percentage.
Those 11,000 followers are more than likely potential third baby mamas. Not. There are very few real estate people in there. It's mainly fat girls.
Exactly. So why do I want to do that? My investors don't have anything against me. People that buy, again, they're not pretty people. We try to get them people about 95% of the time. We make them into pretty people and they buy their house. But there's every once in a while, somebody fucks it up. Okay, I had one guy, I'm showing him houses.
I thought you didn't show houses.
His credit that I paid for. I paid to fix his credit.
I thought you didn't show houses.
We're showing him houses. He missed 4 car payments. 4. While we're working with him. And then he's going to bitch and complain that he can't buy that house now? I told him how he do it. So you got to sell your...
But he's
got to sell that pride charger of yours.
He's currently a tenant there, though, I would assume. And put his...
No, we had to get him out. Because he wasn't willing to sell his car.
And the 3.5% deposit that he put down, he lost that, I assume?
It's not a deposit. It's not a deposit. It's an option fee.
Okay.
There is no deposit. There's a difference.
So he executed an option on the house.
Paid to me by the seller.
I got you.
The 3.5% is my fee. That's what I get paid.
What's that for?
for putting the deal together. And each of the people have their own realtors.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Yeah, so sometimes when it doesn't work, are people mad at me? Sure.
And you don't get paid that on a HUD. You get paid that by the seller outside of closing.
We have a settlement agreement at the time of signing the lease option.
Yeah.
Where the seller says, yes, I'm paying this guy this amount of money.
And whenever you're doing leases, you don't have to be licensed on that. Do you have an option on that property at that time whenever you're optioning it? So you're like kind of like daisy chaining this thing along? Is that what you're doing?
It's not necessarily a daisy chain. It's an assignment. It's a wholesale deal.
And now with the new laws around wholesaling in Texas, after, I guess, January 1, 2024, you'll have to disclose all this to the seller and buyer and all that.
Mm-hmm. I already do.
It's already in writing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Joe, you've been delightful. Maybe we'll introduce you to our bank in Waco. I got to call Quentin, so I'll holler at you.
So are you going to pull that shit off? Have I satisfied you, or are we going to keep going at this?
No. Look, everybody can form their own opinion from whoever.
One guy yesterday that's a lender, and he said, "Oh yeah, this is securities fraud," or blah blah blah. I went back and forth with him. I sent him information. I told him exactly what I'm doing. And he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds cool." And I said, "Well, are you going to go back and say that now?" He says, "Well, I don't think it's my responsibility." He's a big fucking pussy. So
yeah.
You've got a bunch of people who don't know shit about shit.
I mean,
saying shit about me, dude.
Look,
how fair is that? How right is that? Because ultimately, if you and I get into it, okay, I'm not going after them. It's going to be me and you.
Yeah. So you'll sue me for defamation.
Well, I know one guy did, and he wasn't very successful. But I know you spent money doing it.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's the best part of that. See, the anti-SLAPP law in Texas is very strong, and insurance pays for that. It doesn't cost me anything. As a matter of fact, it only helps.
So you're telling me we're going to continue this? Is that what you're basically saying right now, or are you satisfied with what I'm telling you?
Dude, we're live on Facebook right now. Everything you've said, like if you're asking for a retraction, people get to form their own opinion based on what they just witnessed. This is my retraction. Me and you got on a phone call. You got to state your case. We got to ask questions. It's on video on the internet. I got a camera in my face right now with a mic that's going to go to YouTube. This whole deal is going to be put out there for the world to see. And they will get to form their opinion by the information that you gave. You see what I'm saying? If you're asking for a public retraction, I retract. What did I say? Oh, I didn't say anything. I put screenshots up and asked for explanations. Okay? Any of this that you...
At what point are you going to send me my release?
Release for what?
For putting me on YouTube. Well, supposedly you're making a video of this right now, aren't you?
What's your name, my fella?
Huh?
What's your name?
What, you called me.
Yeah, see? You're not on YouTube.
You called, right?
You're not on YouTube, my guy. A voice on the phone is on YouTube. There ain't no camera in your face. There's a camera in my face.
Why do you even need to do that?
Well, why are you worried about being on the internet? If everything's above board, why do you care?
Because I stay low profile. I don't want to be on the internet.
Well, all right. You got options. You know what I mean? This is what I recommend. I recommend you go hire the biggest high-powered attorney you can afford. You just get him ready to go. And you get me the option for discovery. That's all I want in life. Is the option for discovery.
Why are you bringing me into this?
Because I made a comment on a YouTube video about a guy in San Antonio, and the people, my core day ones, knew exactly who I was talking about. And so they sent me, they knew I was talking about him, but the people that are new to the party were like, "Are you talking about this fella?" And I'm like, "I don't know who that guy is." This whole deal about them accusing you of fraud and all this and that, I don't have enough details to form that opinion.
But you'll pursue it.
No, I won't. No, not at all. Like, not at all. Like, after this is done, this is, you'll be in whatever mix that we're in. You know what I mean? If you want to spar with me, I'll have time. You know what I mean? I have to, like, I take at least 2 shits a day. I will have time to respond to everything that you have going on. I'm not trying to destroy your business. I'm not trying to negatively affect your business. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to know what it is you do. No, I wouldn't. We are on the phone right now on the internet. You've explained everything to me. I think you have a workable loophole with your investors. If you're disclosing that they could be a fiduciary to that buyer, and everything is disclosed and in writing and their initial next to it,
how are they not
if they understand the Texas Finance Code, if they understand,
how are they not a fiduciary?
If
their name on the title.
I'm not talking about your buyer.
Name.
I'm not talking
about the buyer either. I'm talking about the investor.
Yes, no, I get it. But whenever you put a wrap mortgage on that, right? If they understand the Texas wrap law inside and out, and your attorneys have gone over it with them, y'all are doing it above board, y'all are working the 3-year loophole, whatever it is, however you're doing that. If you're doing it above board and everything's good and everything's fine, it doesn't turn into that thing that happened to that fellow out in fucking El Paso. You know what I mean? A licensed and bonded debt servicing company is servicing the debt, making the underlying payments. We use August REI as well. So as long as all of that is taking place, I don't see any issue here.
What is your reason for wanting to get?
Because when 10 people come in and say a guy's a fraud, and you have a platform, you understand the business, you understand everything that goes on. Like,
and more than how many of those 10 do you think don't?
I mean, there's 3 attorneys in there, so. I mean,
okay.
You know, they
none of those attorneys have ever called me, nor have they ever gotten into this type of a discussion with me.
Well, you're pretty defensive. You don't like talking in public. You're like a low profile and all that.
Here I am.
Here you are.
I don't want to be in public. I don't care about the public. I care about the people that I help. That's it.
Our buyers didn't have adjustable rate mortgages. Our friends had adjustable rate mortgages, but we sold them all on paper stack. You know, they made a pile of money. They invested in our last fund with that money. You know, everything is done above board. Like, and I believe you're using August REI and you're doing this for other people and you're disclosing it all properly and you have the proper paperwork. I can see where this is. Your lease option stuff, I can see how that can get hairy. I can see why you don't want to be a part of it no more. I think Joe, I think you did fine on the call. I think you're so close to the fire and this has happened to you so much that you think you did poorly here, but I think you actually probably changed some people's minds. I think people will actually watch this and have a favorable opinion of you because, one, you took the call. Q ain't gonna take the call, and if he does take the call, he's immediately gonna shut us down with Jesus. He's gonna bring God into it day one. Like, I'm telling you right now, you performed above board. People are gonna have a better opinion of you than they did. I can take down the post, but it ain't gonna take anything away. We can tell them, hey, look, there's, you know, Joe did fine on the call. I think what he's doing, he's definitely going to have people mad at him. But until somebody says that he put me on this mortgage, he didn't make my underlying payment, he was keeping the owner's payment for himself and wasn't making my underlying payment and all that stuff that happens in these wraps and sub twos, I don't think there's anything there. I had a guy in my DMs in 2017 that claims he doesn't know me until 2023. It's a fucking wild world we live in. This whole deal, Joe, I mean, I don't. What'd you think of Joe?
I thought he defended himself fine. Yeah, I think it's weird that he won't, like, you know what, like, if that's the thing, if we got caught on the same stuff, they said, well, you're soliciting this and that. No, man, look at our stuff. Yeah, our shit's clean.
Yeah, right? Here's what we do. Here's 100%. Here's all the documentation.
But I also get, you know, if he's looking at it like, oh, I don't know, these guys are just messing with me. Sure, he just don't want to send out his stuff because he don't think we're gonna do business. I understand it.
Sunshine is the best disinfectant. Yeah. I hate that he hates that, but, you know, I mean, his dad's in prison. You can understand why.
He likes to keep a low profile, but he's got like 4,900 friends on Facebook. You know, like,
and he posts every day about his lease option program.
Like, it's like all day. It's in there thick with 4,800 friends. It's like, all right.
So that's it. Appreciate.
He did point out. He's like, does that make you more macho? I do respect him at least acknowledging that he cried in his car.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go cry in my car after this. You know what I mean? Like, if you enjoyed this video, please, for the love of God, let us know in the comment section. Also, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you know every time a new one drops.